This is going to be part 2, why I sold my business. What is up, and welcome back to Lawn Crack. My name's Ryan Shimana, and I am the founder of Lawn Crack. And if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. Putting out content on how to build your lawn care business, just sharing tips and tricks that I've learned throughout the years running my business. I recently sold my business, obviously, by the title of the video, and now I can actually focus on Lawn Crack, and I'm really excited about that. But getting into the video, I just wanted to reiterate that I don't think that you should not get into the industry or think about selling your business or anything like that. Like, I think the lawn care industry is just a great way to learn how business works, and you can honestly make a really nice living doing it. And I was doing that, but I felt like with what I had learned, I could do more, and just over time, my passions changed and I'm more interested in other things now. So I'm gonna focus on some of these other things and see what happens. And I have full confidence in my ability to be successful in whatever I choose to do. So I'm not worried about it at all. But so on this video, I do have notes because I wanted to make sure that I covered everything that I wanted to cover. But let's get into it. So first off, very simply, I just wanted to move on. Like, I had been running my business for 10 years. I've been in the industry, like, you know, working at supply yards, or for example, I worked for TruGreen for a long time. I worked for a local lawn and landscape company. Like, I've been in the industry for over 15 years. I'm not exactly sure how many years it's been, but I'd had enough doing exactly what I was doing in the industry. I don't want to get out. I still want to do my thing with Lawn Crack and hopefully help you guys by building your online presence and getting you products and services at, you know, fair prices that provide value to your business. I'm all about good business, providing the customer with more value than you charge them. So that's what Lawn Crack is focused on, is helping guys build their business. I don't claim to be the best. Didn't have the best business. I don't think I'm the smartest guy, but I honestly think I can help a lot of people with everything that I have learned, and I'm willing to do that. So if you would like to you know, have us do something for you, please contact me. You know, we have the best price on Pro Slides. I wrote the book, Cracking the Code to Profit, all that kind of stuff. So now getting into number 2, which I kind of touched on already, is that you can make a nice living in the lawn care and landscaping industry. Like, I was making $100,000 a year, and I had my hours down to very little. Like, probably realistically, if you average out how many hours I worked in 2017, is honestly like 5 hours per week. You know, the working season I probably worked more than the off season. I worked almost none. So average that out, like literally probably 5 hours a week, and I made $93,000 last year running my lawn care business. So that's why people like my mom are like, "You're crazy, like, what are you doing throwing this away," and blah blah blah. I'm like, I'm not throwing it away. For one, I'm selling it, so I'm actually getting like a cash advance on my future earnings. But so I agree, $100,000 is a nice amount of money. And you know, if you go by the stats, I think less than 93% of people do not make more than $100,000 in the United States of America. So obviously you're doing something right if you hit $100,000. But I want to hit $1 million. I want to hit $10 million. So I didn't see, you know, hitting those numbers with the lawn care business without, you know, scaling immensely. And I know everything that would go into scaling a lawn care business to that size, and I was not interested in doing that. So you know, if $100,000 is good for you, which I think that's good for the majority of people, you know, this is a great industry to make $100,000 in, for sure. Okay, so let's get into the customer aspect. I touched on how I felt the customers are having trouble paying for lawn care services and just any kind of commodity service. And some people get mad when I say commodity service, but at the end of the day, guys, we're cutting grass. It's not rocket science. You know what I mean? So whatever you want to, however you feel about that is fine. But what I don't like about the customers, another thing I don't like about customers or customer base or potential customer base, is you're limited to the proximity around your location. Now, obviously, you could open up another location and then serve clients in that area. But you probably know how hard it is just to, you know, get one location up and running and all that kind of stuff. Then if you open another location, it's gonna be like a satellite location. You're gonna need like a manager at that location, and I don't know. That's that just gets into this too much time, money, equipment, employees, liability, risk involved in scaling the business. That's my opinion. And of course, there's companies that do it, like TruGreen and Brickman, and you know what I'm saying, there's all this kind of stuff. I guess Brickman's gone, whatever they are, Brightview now, whatever. So that's just one thing. I wanted a business model that I could potentially reach anyone around the world. And the note here is, if you think everyone's your customer, then no one's your customer. So I don't want to try to sell something to everybody in the world, but I would like everyone in the world that is interested in my product or service to be able to purchase from me if they would like to do so. So, you know, offering a local service, you can't do that. So that's another reason. Just went into the scaling is my number 4. So just the amount of time, people, and equipment investment needed to scale. I just, to me, that investment in all that stuff is not worth the reward, the potential reward of building a huge business. So, like, you can get good profit margins, you know, maybe 20 to 30%, you know, maybe even higher if you're like a solo operator or if you have your overhead way down. But there are industries that have 60, 70, 80, 90% profit margins. So like what am I working for, you know, 20% profit margin when there's industries that have 60 or 70% profit margin? So I'm leaning towards that. And going back to the location, like when you run a business, it's probably ideal to live where your business is. I'm looking at going to internet-based businesses where it doesn't matter where I live, and I can just go, I could be on a beach somewhere, not even in the country, running my business. And that's very appealing and interesting and intriguing to me at this point in my life. You know, 10 years ago when I started my business, I didn't think, never crossed my mind that I could possibly live in Europe or South America or Central America or wherever, you know what I mean, in the Mediterranean, something like that. Whatever. But I see that now. Like I think that's a real possibility. And I have my daughter, so it's gonna be, you know, tricky about how I could do this, but maybe I could do extended months at a time in a different country. I mean, that'd be so cool. The world's such a big place. There's so much to see and do and learn and people to meet and all this kind of stuff. So I'm not trying to stay in Kentucky forever. So the 6th reason I had on here was barriers to entry. So if you don't know what barrier to entry means, it's just like, how hard is it for somebody to get into that industry? And everybody knows it's super easy to get into the lawn care and landscaping industry. Like, that's what I like to say around here in Northern Kentucky, like everybody and their brother calls themselves a landscaper because they have a truck, a trailer, and a mower. And it's the truth. And a lot of these guys aren't paying taxes. They don't have workers' comp. They don't have insurance. So they're able to cut a lawn for $20 cash and actually make a little bit of money. But if you're a business around here and you're charging less than $40 a lawn, you're probably not making any money. So, yeah, the barrier to entry is a two-edged sword, or however that saying goes, because I really like that about the industry, but then at the same time, I also feel it's a little bit of a downfall to the industry, and it just creates a lot of competition. And you know what I'm saying, I played sports, so I was all into competition, but when you get into business, you know, competition is not your friend. Like, competition is driving your price down is what competition is doing, and that is bad for business. So the next one I have on here is like selling your business is kind of the end goal of of building a business. Like, obviously you should really enjoy what you do in your business. Like that only makes sense to enjoy what you do. Why would you start a business of doing something you don't like doing? Like that's why most people start businesses, because they don't like their job. So, but at the end, it's like you can sell your business, or you know, you're gonna lose your business by, you know, going bankrupt or something like that, getting shut down for some reason, or you're gonna sell it, or you're gonna like pass it on to maybe your son, your daughter, your grandkids, a friend, something like that, some other family member. So that's it. I reached that point where I was like, hey, I've kind of lost my passion to continue putting in the time and effort needed into this business. So before it just goes away and turns into nothing, because as good as my employees are, they don't care enough to like keep the business going. Like, they don't care that much. You know what I mean? So I was just like, that this is as good as time as any. There's value in the business because I've built systems. We have, you know, loyal customers. We have FedEx just signed a 5-year contract with us. So it was sellable. Like somebody that another business owner or entrepreneur, or in this case these two partners, they wanted to buy my business. So hey, yes, in my opinion, everything's for sale for the right price. You know what I mean? Like, I'll go buy another one. I don't care. So that's that. And then the last thing is just focused. Like, even though I was not working that many hours on my lawn care business there at the end, the fact of the matter was, those hours that I was working on the business, I was handling all the stuff that I really didn't like to do. Like, I had to handle all of the stuff basically no one else could handle in my company. Like, maybe if I had an office manager or something like that, that would have taken some of this stuff off my plate. But I've had an office manager in the past. I also know how hard it is just to find somebody that can run a string trimmer, let alone a mower, and drive a truck. And then trying to find somebody that is gonna take a fair amount of wage to operate your business, I mean, the chances of finding the person are slim to none. And you know, it's just the way it is. This is how people are these days. So even though I was working very, you know, my time involved was way down, and the money I was making was great for the amount of time involved, for sure. It was negatively affecting my mindset on a almost daily basis, because I pretty much work, you know, half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour or two a day, and spread out throughout the week. So it's like almost every day, like I had a negative influence from being the owner of my lawn care business. And I was like, this is just freaking crazy. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to move on. So Lawn Crack is what's next. And I have a little team, Steve and Noah. We're gonna be meeting today, and we're gonna go over, you know, exactly what we're gonna offer and how we're gonna do this. But guys, like, my website blew my business up, no doubt about it. You know, people found us on the website. You still have to go out and do the work, do quality work every single day, every single time, every single, you know, week after week, year after year. People will start to talk, and then it's a mixture of word of mouth, doing high quality work over an extended period of time, and having having your website out there so people can find you, because that's where people are looking. You know, no matter what anybody wants to say about how, you know, EDDM's great, yard signs are great, and all this stuff, but all of that kind of marketing like that should be pointing people to your website where they can learn more and then make an educated decision before contacting you. And hopefully after they see your website, they're just ready to sign up. And that'd be great. And you know, you can automate that process by having forms on your website and stuff like that. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. After making that first video, I was like, dang, like I left out a lot of stuff, but that's what happens when you make these videos off the top of your head. Okay, so that's it for this one. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for all your continued support. Please click like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. Leave a comment if you want to leave a comment. I'll definitely respond if appropriate. And until the next video, keep making money.